Looking to improve your life, brush up on your personal growth techniques? You are in the right place. Welcome to Life's Little Lessons with your host, author of Designing Your Own Destiny, Kevin A. Dunlap.
Hello, everybody. This is Kevin Dunlap with Life's Little Lessons, and today I have a gentleman. I have been having a couple of little conversations with him, and he was introduced to me by a lady that has actually brought a few people to our show, from a lady by the name of Galina, and she said that this would be a wonderful guy to actually speak with. His name is Paul, and he is from Moscow, Russia. So right now we're about a 12-hour time difference between the two of us. So it's early in the morning here my time, and it's late in the evening his time. But I'd love to have this gentleman on the show. He's been very inspirational for what I've been actually speaking with him about. And today I just want to welcome Paul to our show. Paul, welcome to our show today.
Thank you for inviting me, Kevin. It's great to be here.
And I was going to say your last name, but since I did not ask how to pronounce. How do you pronounce your last name? It's
hard to pronounce probably for English-speaking people, but my first name is Pavel, and last name is Verbnyak. So Verbnyak.
Okay, I'm not even going to. Thank you, Pavel. Thank you.
Thank
you. Pavel, could you tell me a little bit about yourself? What is it that you do, and why is it that you do it?
Yeah, you mentioned before, absolutely correct. I live in Moscow, Russia for about 7 years, but I was born in northwestern part of Russia in a small town called Petrozavodsk. It's very close to Finland and St. Petersburg. And right now I'm a corporate training and speaker and life coach. I've been studying this subject for about 13 years, and I started to ask myself a question: what's the difference between successful people and others? During my young age, about 17 years old, I started to ask these questions, and I started to learn this because I was born in family not wealthy, not rich. I had just my mom and grandfather and older brother, and we didn't have a lot of money. So I just wanted to make a breakthrough in my own life to become a successful in financial terms and become a financial free and travel the world, because before 21 I never traveled abroad. I was just in my hometown, and sometimes I went to Moscow a couple of times, and that's it. And nobody in my family traveled a lot, so I just was very hungry for the information. I thought, oh, okay, why this kind of person achieve these goals? Why this kind of person financial free? What do they do? How do they think? And I believe that how we think, we become. What we think about most of the time, we become. And I started to dream. I started to teach myself to dream again, because when I remember my childhood, I hear regularly that that's not for us. Don't ask this because it's very expensive. Don't do that. Don't go there. And when I grew up, I realized, oh, I forgot how to dream, how to ask, and I started to do this again. So discovering this kind of information, reading hundreds of books on biographies, autobiographies, and business books, psychology, I started to grow myself personally inside, because I thought, okay, I want to become successful. I just buy a car or nice clothes and everything changed in my life. But that was my mistake. I just realized that to have much more abundant, bright, interesting life, I should become more abundant, interesting, and good person inside. So I started to accumulate this kind of mindset. You're an expert in mindset, and I started to accumulate habits of successful people. And during 2 years, I thought, oh, no, nothing happens. The same friends, the same money from university, and the same sports team and everything. But when I saw back, after these 2 years, I saw some situations, some um, that show me you're on the right track. You have some new people in your life. You started to travel, and my first trip in the US was when I was 21, and that was breakthrough for me. Oh, I can live a little bit different. Wow, American people live different, and I want to live that kind of life. So that my breakthrough was that the key to achieving any goal uh, and any success you want, it's constant and never-ending personal and professional growth. That any skill is learnable. Any business skill, like sales, like financial, like investments, and public speaking and coaching, everything is learnable skill. And I want to learn how to be successful, and that's why the reason that I studied the psychology of success and unlocking human potential during these 13 years for now. It's to become much more valuable for people as well. And if, for example, your clients, your friends, Kevin, would love to become a doctor, they study medicine. If they want to become a lawyer, they study uh, this kind of information. But if you want to become a successful in general, in life, in personal relationships, in financial terms, in become healthy, and you should study this field, because our life is too short to learn by your own experience. If you want to become successful in your business, in your personal relationships, in your health, you should ask these people who already achieved this kind of goals. And I, I I pay money and time to just to learn from this kind of people. I hire coaches, I hire, and I attend seminars and trainings, as you do as well. We talked with you about that, and it's very inspirational how you study this and your story. And I believe that success is predictable; it's not an accident. And if you know exactly what kind of life you would love to achieve, to live, and you set goals and you take 100% responsibility for your results and for your life, everything starts to change like a magic. And if you take a decision that, yes, I want to do something with my own life, yes, I want to live this kind of life and travel the world and have successful relationships and have financial freedom for myself, for my wife, for my children, everything starts to change because you become much more powerful magnet. You attract information, you attract people, you attract resources you need to achieve these goals you set for yourself. As Paulo Coelho in his book The Alchemist said, if you have the dream, the universe helps to achieve that kind of dreams with people, with resources, with everything you need. And that's the main, I think, keys for achieving any kind of success you like. Because for you, Kevin, success means, for example, something. For example, a yacht and big house, mansion, and successful relationships. For example, for other people, it could be travel the world. For it's the difference for any kind of people, the success. So, like definition, like you should write down the definition of success. You should write down the life you would love to live in 5 years, for example. You should set goals. You should take 100% responsibility and pay the price first. As in buffet, you go, you pay, and then you eat. Some people say, oh, I go to the restaurant, I eat, I become successful, and then I pay the price. But the life and success works like buffet, not a restaurant. You pay the price, you accumulate knowledge, you become person you need to become to achieve that kind of lifestyle and goal you just set for yourself. So it's amazing how it works. And personal and professional growth as well. You should accumulate all kinds of information you need to achieve that kind of goals. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yes.
because people would love to help you with your goals. Just ask them.
And that is so true, because I've said this a few times on the show before. I mean, I know, Pavel, you and I, and I would say even the listeners, are more than willing to help other people, especially if they ask. But we are also afraid to ask for that help. So that is such a catch-22, that everybody's willing to help, but so few people are willing to ask for that help. And it's
Yeah,
just,
Kevin, and we had very nice conversation with you yesterday and today before that interview. And one of my personal mentor and coach is Jack Canfield, the success principle. I've been studying with him for a year in the US and a week in Europe and Italy. And one of his success principles he teach is ask, ask, ask. So the Aladdin factor. If you ask for help, you have nothing to lose. You have no in your pocket already. If you don't ask, okay, nothing changed. If they say no, the no already was before asking. But you have 5 or 10 or 1% that person can say yes. And people have some fears, and I help with my clients to eliminate these fears and limiting beliefs that uh, stay on the road to our goals and success. And if you ask, if you say what you want, and if you provide some value to people, everything happens. And you don't need to say, oh, I want to become a taker. Take. You should become a giver, as you mentioned before as well, Kevin. If you give, you will have everything you need for achieving your own goals. And Jim Rohn, probably, or Zig Ziglar, I don't remember exactly, said, if you help enough people to achieve what they want, you will have everything you need for yourself. And it's great if you study success, if you study successful people. I also love interview people and Olympic champions and millionaires and scientists and everything, how they act, how they think, how they and if you do what successful people do, and if you start to think like successful people think, with the law of cause and effect, you will have the same results step by step. It could be 1 year, it could be 5 years, but as I mentioned before, success is not an accident. It's predictable. If you do the same, you will have the same results. If you do the same what other people do, you cannot expect different results. And you know that. You have written a couple of books on this subject, Kevin. You interview a lot of successful people, as I do, and that's how it works. I didn't believe that, but when I started to practice, I saw, wow, that works.
well, and that is so true, because I know when I first started my journey in 2002 and this was just doing real estate, I took it on kind of like, and I got a point here. I took it on as if I was going to be taking a final exam on the subject. So every book that I read, I actually outlined the book. I actually wrote the book, rewrote, paraphrasing the book, and then I go back and study that outline of the book. And I did that with numerous books. So if those of you that have gone to college, and I'm sure Pavel has as well, you study for probably up to 4 years on a particular subject to become an expert in that field, become that expert in whatever your degree is in. Well, you're saying the exact same thing. Go and study, instead of studying, say, meteorology or mathematics or secondary education, you go there and you study success. That becomes your topic. And with any course that you take, there are going to be books that you're going to have to read to study. Exact same thing as reading Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, Brian Tracy, and any of a number of other people on the subject. And yes, you study those successful people.
Yeah, I study, I invest in my personal professional development. I travel the world just to meet with this kind of people. Like a month ago, I got a privilege to meet and interview Brian Tracy on success, because Brian is another role model and mentor for me. Last year, I was a team member with Tony Robbins in New York and Florida. And I also tried to learn from the best, go and meet them and read their books. And it's great when you eat this kind of information, you just start to act as them. If you read, for example, personal development books and success books, you start to think like them. You study successful people through biographies and autobiographies. You watch interviews in YouTube, you take interview with them and invite them for lunch, and we become what we think about. We become what kind of people we associate with, and we can associate with people that just on our bookshelf, like with books. We can be alone in the village, but if we study, we read, we associate with this kind of people. We communicate with the authors. You are a best-selling author as well, Kevin, and you are role model for people you never saw before. But they think, oh, Kevin is my role model. Kevin is my mentor because I read his books a couple of times, and I did what he just suggested to do to change my mindset, to become more successful. And it's great. It's great. I have a lot of mentors that already not alive already. So, for example, but their books here, their YouTube interviews there, and I know you're the same.
Well, thank you. And yes, and that's the thing is, I want people to understand, and Pavel basically just hit the nail on the head there, is you can have mentors that the person that's doing the mentoring may not even know who you are. I mean, because you're going through their books, you're going through their courses. I mean, they could even be alive or even dead, and they could still be your mentors because it's the legacy that they're leaving behind. The
Absolutely.
same you as the listener is you're going to be mentor to other people, knowingly or unknowingly. I mean, especially with social media the way it is, it's surprising how many people follow you on things like Instagram or Facebook or any of the other social media platforms that you don't know are looking up to you. And like you putting those motivational quotes or whatever on there, and there's some people that's going to see that and say, "Oh my gosh, I wish I was more like him or like her." So, yes,
absolutely, Kevin. And I just read somewhere or watched in YouTube this kind of questions I ask you as well. For example, Kevin, would you like to have your personal investing mentor Warren Buffett? Yes, absolutely. Would you like to have your fitness instructor, for example, Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah. Would you like to have your own personal coach on spiritual growth, Deepak Chopra and Mother Teresa? Yes, but let's go. I introduced you to them. They're my personal coaches. They're in my house. Their books. They have books, and they're my personal coaches as well. It's you're absolutely right, Kevin. It's not necessary to have one-on-one coaching with like Skype or telephone, but you can learn from them, and you can be a mentor and role models for others through your interviews, through your questions, through your books, through your everything you share with your audience as well.
And yes, and now I'm sure Pavel is not saying don't have a coach or don't have somebody that's there on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis that you can interact with, which is also just as important.
Yes.
And
absolutely, very important, Kevin.
Yes.
But during my early age, when I started to study this field, I didn't have money for hiring my personal coach. But it's very important to have, if you have an opportunity, hire a personal coach, because your results will be much higher, because this kind of person already achieved these goals you would love to achieve. Any successful sportsman, any successful entrepreneur have this kind of people. They can ask the advice, ask for help, and ask for, what do you think? Am I doing right or not? Oh, you should do this, or you should do this. And it saves a lot of money and time.
Yes, and that's because you're not reinventing the wheel. Each and every
Yeah,
time you go in with somebody that says, "Okay, this I
absolutely.
know this is what works and this is what doesn't work," and they can
Yeah,
definitely shorten your level of getting there. And that coach could be anything. It could be a fitness coach, it could be a speech coach, it could be a success coach. It means whatever areas of your life that you're looking to improve.
success leaves clues,
Yes.
and if you do the same, yeah, as I mentioned before, Kevin, you remember our life is too short to learn everything by your own. If you want to become a successful entrepreneur, study successful entrepreneurs, ask for help, ask for advice, write them a message in Facebook or LinkedIn, ask for to be your mentor. If he is very successful, multi-billionaire or millionaire, ask them, can you be my mentor, please? I want to call you just for 5 minutes every month. Yes or no, but you have nothing to lose. If that person say, no, I'm too busy, I don't want to help you, okay, but you had the same result before asking. But imagine if he says, yes, I would love to help you. Wow. But before asking, you never know. Or for example, wow, that's a beautiful lady, probably she's married, she is very successful in family. No, I'm not going to ask them for a date. But who knows, maybe she thinks, wow, I love this guy, why he never asked me for date. You never know what she or he has in here, in the mindset, in their thoughts. Ask. Before asking, you never know what kind of answer you receive. And life is the same. If you ask for help, if you ask the universe or God or something you believe in, ask for help, ask for people, ask for information, ask for guidance, and you will see that. You will see in your life, through books, through people, through circumstances. But be result oriented. Eliminate from your language, from your thoughts, negative thoughts, that you uh, blame others, or blame your life, or blame your boss or your wife. Be focused on what you're grateful for. When you're grateful, you cannot feel fear. When you're grateful, you cannot fear anything else, negative thoughts. When you're grateful, you attract this kind of information. The law of attraction works all the time. If you blame others, you attract negative. If you're grateful, if you focus on results, if you think about what you want and how to achieve that, you will find the way to achieve that.
Well, there's a something I wrote in my second book, The Designing Your Destiny, and this is not we've not set this up, so I'm going to ask you a question, and most people get this question wrong. And I should not have started saying that. I should not have set up that way. But even you as the audience, if I would ask you this, Pavel, how many wishes did the genie give Aladdin in the 1001 Arabian Nights?
Oh, Kevin, I don't remember, to be honest, the story. Probably zero.
Okay. No, he gave him three. Most the Western adaptation was 3 wishes.
Right.
And the answer to that question actually is, in the actual story, the genie gave Aladdin unlimited wishes.
Unlimited wishes, yes.
Now, the Western adaptation of the story had to put a limiter on it, so they gave him 3.
Right.
So you had to be very careful what you're asking for. Well, in my book, Designing Your Own Destiny, how I looked at this is, do you believe that there's a higher power? Call it the universe, call it God, call it Allah, call it whatever you want to call it. Would you say that there's a higher power?
I do. I believe that.
Well, the story of Aladdin and Aladdin's lamp, the higher power is the genie. Yes. And what you're putting out there is like you just said, I want to ask her out, but she's too pretty. Or I want to ask her out, and the genie says, your wish is my command. And then all of a sudden he says, well, she's too pretty for me. Your wish is my command. Or I want to go out there and get this promotion. Your wish is my command. Oh, this other person is more qualified than I am. Your wish is my command. So everything that you're putting out there, you can achieve. And like you were just saying,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, Kevin. If you have this in your head, you can have this in your hands. And Napoleon Hill and Bob Proctor, everyone we know say the same. And Ralph Waldo Emerson, Leo Tolstoy, and I study all of this. And also ancient Chinese philosophers said the same. If you can believe that, you can achieve that. And I also help to my clients to increase their self-concepts, self-confidence, because what we think about what we can do. You remember Albert Einstein said, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way you are right. So if you believe that this kind of life is you can achieve, yes, you can do that. If you believe no, that's not for you, you are right as well.
mm-hmm.
So just start to believe, start to dream big. It's current president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, said that you spend the same amount of energy if you dream about small things or if you dream about big things. So dream big, and if you dream big, your life will be big as well. If you dream small, you attract small people, small situations, circumstances. If you dream big, you attract great people and opportunities, as you do, Kevin, as you do. And what we have right now, our conversation, is the law of attractions as well, because your vibration is very similar to my vibration. If it was different, we never saw each other in real life. But now we have already a second conversation. We had a great conversation yesterday. We had conversation before the interview, and right now I enjoy talking with you.
Well, I have it as well, and I want to say thank you to Galina for putting us together. And but yeah, the thing is, it is about how interconnected that we are. I mean, you and I mean, you're in Moscow. I'm in Las Vegas. we don't hang out with the same people.
Yeah, Kevin, Moscow, Russia, because we have several Moscow in the US as well.
Okay, it's Moscow, Russia. Yes, yeah. we're talking about the other side.
Right.
The other side of the world.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're actually about to run out of time here. Pavel, is there anything that you would like to share with, any last tidbits of information that you'd like to share with the audience before we say goodbye to each other?
Kevin, first of all, I would love to say thank you for inviting me for the interview. I would love to say thank you to your audience. And I just want to repeat the main thoughts, the main idea that I mentioned before, that just decide exactly what you want in life. Dream big, take 100% responsibility in your own life and pay the price. Take action and never stop learning. Always constant personal and professional development is the key to achieve any kind of success and goal you just believe you can achieve. Do whatever it takes to achieve that kind of goals. Ask for help and study success. If you want to become successful in personal relationships, study successful couples, study successful relationships. If you want to become successful in finances, study financial investors, people who are already millionaires, and ask for help. Learn, be hungry for the information, hungry for this kind of people in your environment, because we become what we think about most of the time. Learn, study, watch development movies, and your success will be 100% guaranteed. Just make a decision and never stop learning, never stop do whatever it takes, and everything will happen in the right time.
And yes, well, and to add on to that, definitely study those people, hang out with successful people, and also definitely get coaching. Get a coach, get a mentor.
Absolutely, Kevin. Absolutely, Kevin. And do what you love to do, because this is the key to your success. If you love talking, a lot of people make money talking, taking interview and having TV shows and everything, Oprah. If you love helping people with become a lawyer, for example, just think about what kind of activities you love to do during your childhood. What kind of help do people ask you to do, and and provide more value for people. Just try to help more people, and you can have everything you want to have in your own life, just helping enough people to have what they want.
Yes. And if someone wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you? Do you have a website or?
Yeah, Kevin, I'm in Facebook, I'm in Instagram, and my website is Verbnyak, my last name.com. It's in Russian mostly, but also I'm open in Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And yes, it would be great to be valuable and useful for your viewers, for your subscribers, for you as well, personal, Kevin. If you need any assistance, and if I can do something for you, please let me know. And I look forward to see you personally anywhere in Moscow, Las Vegas, Australia, and anywhere, and online as well.
Well, we'll definitely stay in contact online, and I'm sure I would assume we will cross paths at some events here in the near future. And I would love to sit down and have a coffee with you, maybe a beer. I don't know if you drink, but just sit back and just enjoy.
The same for me, Kevin.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
Pavel, I do want to say thank you for being on the show today, and thank you. And those of you that are going to go to his website, I am currently on it. It is in Russian. However,
right.
It's at www.v as in Victor, ERB, like verb, NYAK. And on the website, I just went on there right now, and it actually translated it to English. So
that's great. That's great. Yes, Kevin. That's my website.
Don't speak Russian or read Russian. You can get it in English.
Yes. So, Kevin, thank you so much for your time, for the great questions. And it was, I enjoyed talking with you. It's great. It's great. On this subject, I can speak and share my ideas and ask you questions like a week in a row, I think. And I do the seminars and trainings and personal coaching as well. And if anyone would love to work one-on-one with me, welcome. I would love to.
Okay. And same here. For those of you that might want to work with myself, of course, you will work with Pavel by going to his website. My website is just my name. Also, it's kevinadunlap.com.
Right.
And I do have a free gift for anybody that does want to. I have a ebook called The 8 Steps to Achieving Any Goal. It's going to be part of my upcoming book. But right now, you can get the 8 steps by just going to kevinadunlap.com/free gift and just enter your name and email, and it will be sent to your email. So Pavel, I do want to say thank you for being on the show. It's been a great pleasure. And I'm sure we'll talk after the show, and we'll talk offline a little bit as well.
Absolutely, Kevin. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I thank everybody, and everybody have a wonderful day.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Life's Little Lessons with your host, author of Designing Your Own Destiny, Kevin A. Dunlap. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit kevinadunlap.com, facebook.com/kevinadunlap.author, and on Twitter @KevinADunlap. We'll catch you on the next episode of Life's Little Lessons.